This is Josiah Plays Torment, Tides of Numenera. And she's got the cure for berry slaps, apparently. Whatever the fuck berry slaps are. We're gonna talk to this fellow Boras and see what his deal is. Just in some bloom flesh, maybe. Alright, here we go. Boris. This young man's beauty shines even through his grimy face and his tattered clothes. His eyes are wide and staring, electric blue, and the movements his fingers trace through the air look like birds in flight. He snaps out of his reverie and grins at you, his teeth even and white against his brown skin. On closer examination, you can see that his rags were once fine fabrics, carefully and expertly stitched. This guy's already reminding me of what's her name? The merchant that got stuck here from another world. Back in the Memavira's courtyard. He greets you with an easy familiarity, like an old companion. His voice is smooth and educated, mellifluous and soft.
Hello, friend. My name is Boris. Can you spare 200 shins?
200 is a lot. This is not a lie! This is not a lie, game! I mean, I have 900, but that's not very much considering all the things I want to buy and how expensive they are. 200? Fuck me. Why do you need the money?
Why? Why? Friend, do you remember the first time you fell in love? The sweet laughter of an infant? The taste of a tear when you hear of a friend's death? I do. I remember them even though they haven't happened to me.
He stops, puzzlement crossing his face.
At least, I don't think they have. But no matter. Here, inside this shop, Sheen sells the essence of those experiences. If you have the shins, you can live them all yourself.
Oh, is this like the sensorium in Planescape Torment, where they had the sensory stones and you could go into them and like experience memories of somebody else? Because that was a really cool part of Planescape Torment. I wonder if this is like a tribute to that. I'm not giving this guy 200 shins.
At least, you can live them until you run out of money. Which I have. Did I ask you for shins already? I'd swear I did. I only need 200.
Only? Why do you need the money again?
Sheen sells the essence of every experience you could ever dream of. Unfortunately, I need 200 shins to live another.
Man, I hope I can get this Sheen to give me some experiences for free. I don't want to spend all my money here. Alright, for science. We're going to reload the save after this, probably. For science, I'm going to give him 200 shins.
Oh! Really? Thank you. Oh, this has made my night. I won't forget your generosity, friend. When I get back on my feet, you'll get this back, with interest.
I wonder if that's actually true.
It's going to be a good night.
He sketches a friendly salute.
Hello again, friend. Sheen's essences are top-notch today. I can hear her in there muttering, and that's always a good sign for me. It means she has something special brewing. An idea strikes him. You should try her essences. They'll change your life.
Stops for a moment.
But wait until after I've bought mine, alright?
His good mood is infectious.
Anyway, what can I do for you? You have questions?
Farewell. If you happen to come into some money, remember me. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can afford to give this guy 200 shins right now. Just don't think I can. We must reverse the science. Hashtag reverse the science. Chorus. I don't need the money. Farewell. So I still have the option, right? To come back and give him the shins later. He looks up, his ready grin faltering and dying as he sees your face. Oh, it's you. Why do you keep coming back here to talk to me if you don't plan to help me? Do you feed on misery? What's that like? Come on, give me some shins. Farewell. We'll think about it, buddy. We'll think about it. Depends on how many shins I come into in this place. Hopefully, so far I'm not making a lot of money in the bloom. Hopefully I find some ways to make some money up in here. And then, you know, I might be able to hook you up. There's so many things I want from the shops. And so little money. Now I'm probably going to spend a bunch here. Look at all this, like, mist in here. Alright, we're going to go in here.
I'm there, in the shadows.
There's Sheen. Doesn't look like any kind of weird non-human. We've got this thing. Looks very sciencey. Table is covered with strange instruments and controls. 3 sturdy metal levers jut from a mechanism affixed to the floor. Etched along their bases are a series of symbols marking each position to which the levers can be set. All kinds of weird stuff being made in here. This mysterious device spews out brightly colored cubic bubbles. That's exactly what I said they were. They're cubic bubbles. The result of a chemical process you can't begin to fathom.
Like a whisper.
Alright. Guess it's time to talk to Sheen. When she turns, you realize that the thing you had mistaken for a bundle of sticks and twine is a woman, an impossibly thin woman, her face all angles and lines, her arms summer twigs. Her clothes drape across her like sailcloth, and though her face is young, her eyes are old, old, old. Her hands are pitted and scarred from alchemical processes, the apparatus for which stands in dizzying profusion behind her. I like the writing on this one. She does not meet your gaze as she greets you, but her eyes rove across your body, watching and weighing. Traveler, the shop of Sheen lies open before you. Essences distilled, drafts for quaffing, experiences delivered a mouthful at a time. Her voice is flat, though an undercurrent in her voice sings at a register you cannot hear. Tell me about yourself. The expression drains from her face. From the clock of Kala I hail, superiority made flesh, the city of Sada Emidu, the house above the Indigel, saw my birth. My birthright, to explore, to delve, to understand. Yet the Zealator in his wisdom, with his implants, told my family that my researches endangered me, reduced me from an augur to a mere human. Oh, an augur. That's the same kind of woman that that Sunderman met. That was his lover. She was an augur. I don't suppose it's the same woman. Probably not. Her voice has risen to a shout and she collects herself. She continues more calmly. Rather than suffer legal exile, to this place I came. The bloom sought a piece of my mind, and so I took a piece of its, and from that connection comes the ability to draw essences. Clients seek me now, seek my knowledge, care not whether my modifications endanger me. Bliss. The angry cast of her eyes suggests that these memories are anything but. Turns and spits into a bottle near her strange apparatus. Can you tell me of yourself again? You ask me to relieve suffering? Once already have I summoned memories for the traveler. Once have I saved my hurt. Ask something else. That well runs dry. What did you mean when you said essences distilled and experiences delivered? That which we eat, that which we drink, this is not the only nourishment in our lives. Without joy, without peace, without happiness or courage, existence itself becomes empty. Yeah, I can pretty much attest to that. These states I recreate, and into dull lives restore aught of glory. She looks proud for a moment. Clients come to me from across the protectorate. They desire to open themselves to new sensation, though perhaps unpleasant. Why? I ask not. Unpleasant horizons, into the depths of human experience. Some seek solace in pain, or domination, or unusual abilities. Were the traveler to present a gift of a unique experience, transfusion of energy to Sheen, arrangements might be made. So this is just like when you're at the Hall of the Sensates in Planescape Torment. Can you tell me what you do again? I barter experience, sensation, any state and any emotion if I have the means. Let me see what you have for sale. Alright, she's got elements of quickness. That's nice. +1 speed edge until next sleep. This fluted crystalline container is filled with a vapor that spirals like a vortex around a spherical epicenter. Shifting in hue and velocity at seemingly random intervals of intensity, being at one moment a gentle azure, the next a furious purple. An inhaler is attached to one end, allowing the vapors to be consumed. The sharp inhalation of essence gives a unique sucker, a rush of energies that seem to slow time for the user alone, enhancing reaction speed and other capabilities. She's got... look at all these essences. But they're just ciphers that give you bonuses. They're not like cool memory experience things like in... holy shit, Essence of Knowledge. Okay, hold on. Essence of the Elder Unagran. For a whole crisis, you get some ass-kicking abilities. This tubular flask has no opening to release the essence trapped within. Instead, the flask must be cracked open to release a sparkling blue mist. Inhaling the mist will cause you to experience the last moments of a majestic Elder Unagran, swimming free in the depths of the ocean. Its 2 rows of eye-like organs sparkle vividly, the long, undulating, armored skin crackling with electricity. Inhaling this mist also produces a sense of lost freedom, of something great being stolen, the unfathomable comfort of the vast open sea. This is followed by a desire for vengeance. The Unagran's life was stolen, and for this someone must pay. the duration of the effect, you will experience visions of life as an elder Unigran and gain a measure of the creature's strength and rage. When you speak, your words will be echoed by clicks and squeals, and your skin will sparkle with weak electrical impulses. That's pretty fucking cool. Essence of the Severed Tongue. Gives you a ridiculous amount of social skill bonus till next sleep. I don't really need it, but it's awesome. Black marble with the texture smooth obsidian, marked by minute holes all over its surface. When held near one's head, the surface suddenly becomes transparent. A droplet of some glowing red substance comes alive within it, writhing and rippling menacingly. Once placed firmly in the air, a din of whispering voices becomes audible. Each voice seems to be individually comprehensible. One's mind is filled with possibilities, and spoken words seem to leave of their own accord off the tongue, controlled and steered by the voices within this bauble. Once the conversation is over, the voices cease and the marble becomes inert. Essence of Knowledge. Permanent +1 training level to a lore skill. That's pretty hot. Pretty hot. This essence was put into a device to be placed over the eyes, where it injects a reddish-brown liquid into the retina. Gives one the ability to perceive the world with another, apparently more learned perspective. Previously unknown knowledge of the Ninth World will be available to whoever consumes this essence. Unfortunately, the effect is merely temporary and leaves one with a rather persistent and hard to scratch or itch on the corneas. Why does it say it's only temporary right here where it says it's permanent? Dude, there's so much really expensive stuff here. There needs to be a way to make some money in the bloom, for real. There's so much shit I want to buy. 1,000 Years of Rest. +1 intellect edge. Active 3 sleeps. Holy shit. This vial of swirling colors contains a precious liquid that Sheen gathered from a semi-immortal being after he spent thousands of years in meditation. Once injected, it allows one to awaken a higher mental process by imparting a simulation of the time this being spent in meditation. Oh, I want that too. Impure Essence. Increases your stat pool with the highest value by 2, decreases the others by 1. Alright, that's interesting. Blobs of muted light slowly twist and turn within this otherwise clear liquid. You sense some limited consciousness within, reaching out to you. By ingesting this essence, something will happen. Probably. Serax Essence. Oh, you use it on an enemy, and they become controlled by you for 6 rounds. Wow. The large feline Serac are known for their ability to control creatures and contraptions around them. Somehow Sheen has managed to condense the thoughts of a Serac into this green pill-like container. Even looking at it does things to your mind. On the one hand, you're hungry. On the other, you smell ozone and rotted flesh and your stomach turns. Ah, this is some cool shit. Essence of Bravery. Makes you a badass for 1 crisis. Huge bonus on attacks and huge crit bonus. This is the kind of thing you want to use when you're like fighting the Sorrow or something. The stoppered vial contains a bright purplish mixture. The liquid within seems to glow, and it calls to something bold and courageous within you, inspiring you to great deeds. These are some nice fucking ciphers right here. I can't really afford any of them right now, realistically. I mean, I could, but I don't know what I want to spend my money on yet. I don't want to buy anything until I've seen everything that's available. Alright, so say we want to ask Sheen another question. Can you create a mixture that will open the maw here in the slump? Know you what it seeks?
All creatures live in desire, so too must the maw desire something. He wants to devour Artaglio. She closes her eyes as if picturing Artaglio in her mind. The man wears the black mask of fear, but he carries the marks of a hero. He carries a soldier's essence, but he has forgotten its face. She frowns and holds up 2 bony fingers. 2 ways to do such. 1, she holds up her first finger. Fetch me his skin, or bring me his hair, and I can find the truth of the man. A warning, the condottiere will see no change if you give him the essence. You must provide another subject. I mean to say that another must ingest his essence. She meets your gaze for a moment. The bloom is not gentle. You would accept your offer, knowing this. Only the truly desperate plot this course. So this, in other words, I get his essence and I feed it to some other person and feed them to the maw. So that's not great. 2, she lifts her second finger. I can remind him of his truth. I tell you this, the bloom will likely devour him. Simply look in my wares and you shall find the bravery that he requires. So either way, somebody's getting fed to the fucking maw. I have many unique experiences. I can provide the feeling of overwhelming another's mind with a wave of psychic energy. Her eyes widen in anticipation. Sheen has heard of such as you, dominators and manipulators. Sheen offers essences in trade for these energies. Your offering lowers my prices. Does the traveler accept? I do. Then step in with me. She reaches out for you as she activates her apparatus. Her hand makes contact with you. A rainbow aura settles across both of you, and you feel a connection to her mind. Fleeting images of a grand palace arcing over a river, a mad flight over polluted swamplands, and great aerial predators that swoop onto unwary travelers in a grassland that seems to have no end. You feel the familiar swirl of tidal energies begin deep within you. As the machine continues to whir, you feel her insistent thoughts pushing at your mind. The tides curl around her. The shell of her mind compresses. Her body becomes a puppet to your will, dancing to your invisible strings. Her grasp on your arm tightens as she writhes and screams, but she lets it go on and on. Finally, with a shriek, she releases her grip on your arm and fumbles for a beaker. Semi-solid bloody tears spill from her eyes, great gouts of rich and putrid scabrous tissue. Ew. She retrieves them with her bottle, scraping the lip of the bottle up her cheeks to ensure that she captures the essence completely. The apparatus winds down, and the rainbow glow fades. Sheen meets your eyes for a long moment. Let us never do that again. Browse the wares. The cost negligible. Let's see what you have to say. Alright, let's see what she means by negligible, because I have a feeling it's going to be pretty unnegligible. Yeah, still costing a fuckload of money. What the fuck? That's not much of a discount. All this shit is still hella expensive. Hella expensive. And that was a crappy discount. Negligible, she says. How many shins do these people think I have? Can you give me 200? Negligible cost. I only have 900 shins, man. Alright, that's it for now, I guess.
Yes.
All right.
So in other words, I either have to find somebody else to go into the maw with his essence, or I need to get him to go into the maw.
Let's go all.
One or the other. Alright, well, we're gonna come back to all this.
I'm going.
I wonder if Inkpot wouldn't go into the maw willingly. Or Jaunt.
All right.
Alright, we're out of here for now. For now.
Yes, now.
All right, Ren, you can do this.
Walks without fear. Maybe waits for prey would go into the maw willingly. Doesn't he want to get destroyed?
All right, here I go.
Just talk to Inkpot real fast. No.
All right. Let's go.
We might be able to get Cody to do it, but I don't want to do that to Cody, so I'm not going to. But doing it to the construct could be a good solution.
It's a plan.
Waits for prey. He wants the bloom. Oh, hold on, this is different. There's a bunch of new shit here. She wants to challenge and kill people so the bloom will devour him. Hold on. We're gonna come back here and have that conversation with him, but in just a minute. I didn't screw it up, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. I wanna go talk to Artaglio again real fast.
One moment, and it's done.
Tagliazzle. I like how I can see my little people moving on the map there. Need to buy a nice comfortable chair. I just got a new chair, a desk chair. Pretty nice.
You won't notice I'm gone.
Alright, Artaglio. Here's my question for you, my man. You again! He takes a swallow of his vile-smelling drink. If you won't sacrifice yourself to the maw, then I need a scrap of hair or some of your blood. My precious skin has been scarred enough in the service of Castos. Thank you very much. Then he stops talking and thinks. Wait a moment. You've been talking to Sheen, haven't you? He glances toward the alchemist's lab. About opening the maw. The moment you nod, he happily draws his knife and saws off a hank of his hair. Here you go, he says. Anything else I can do to get you eaten? Oh, I could give myself to the thing with his essence. That's one of the possible solutions, I think. That's interesting. Artaglio cut off a hank of his hair and gave it to you. Sheen can distill this hair into a liquid essence that embodies Artaglio's nature.
Fine.
Okay. Then we come over here to Sheen again.
Traveler fills my door again. What brings her here this time? I have a hank of Artaglio's hair. All well, all good. Give the hair to Sheen.
She takes the hair from your hands and begins humming tunelessly and tonelessly as she manipulates the levers and bolts of her strange device. She inserts Artaglio's hair into it, and it begins to glow. It pulses in regular time like a heartbeat, and she lays her hands along its sides. As she touches it, the glow surrounds her as well, and it cycles through a kaleidoscope of colors into a spectrum you cannot name, but that evokes a painful clarity of emotion. The riot of colors subsides, and the machine ceases to glow. But the colors still play about her hands. She raises them to her eyes. The colors pass within. In a few moments, she begins coughing, great heaving spasms that shake her fragile frame. She glances at you as she retches and holds up a single finger, telling you to wait. She snatches a small bottle from her countertop, and a stream of thin yellow gruel rockets from her mouth. Ew, this is gross. She catches it expertly, missing not a drop, and rises from her hunched posture. She passes it to you. Stand before the maw and quaff the essence of the soldier. If it desires him, you will serve in his place. Thanks. Sheen vomited this thin yellow gruel into a small bottle and gave it to you. It is the essence of Artaglio distilled from a lock of his hair. If you drink it while confronting the maw in Kyurgeon Slump, it should be enough to convince the maw that you are Artaglio so that the maw will consume you in his place. But the question is, can I give it to somebody else to drink? That's what I want to know. Is there somebody else I can convince to do it?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think I ever touched this thing, now that I think about it.
All right.
A blister of flesh protrudes from the ground, an irritated, angry pustule. It is almost entirely opaque, but you see the faintest hints of movement within. Examine the cyst. You study the movement within the cyst more closely. As if in response to your curiosity, the shadow of a hand claws at the interior and vanishes. Someone or something is trapped inside the cyst. Let's touch it. Feel something pressing against your mind, a sharp presence like the thought of pain, thrusting its experiences into your imagination. As your fingers brush the flesh of the cyst, the memories come pouring in, flooding your thoughts with emotions of lives you have never lived, stories from countless lives lost in the bloom. You reach out for a random memory in this swirling maelstrom, and its particulars can become immediately, shockingly clear. A world of senses explodes into your mind. You know instantly that you are in an abandoned cavity deep in the bloom. You hear moisture beating on the threaded veins over your head, and the chittering of other creatures that share this place with you. Your sight is limited and blurry, but a profusion of colors explodes across your vision, and you associate each with a smell. Synesthesia? And the smell. It's a whirring kaleidoscope of rich inputs that instantly categorize themselves in your mind. Food, fetid warmth, family, and shelter lie ahead, beneath the base of a thick, outflung tentacle. It is a burrow opening, just the right size for your tiny body. The globules of bloom flesh in your cheeks will sustain your brood for days. But then the wind shifts, and a sharp scent freezes you in your step. Fear suffuses your mind, and you realize that death is at your heels. Oh, do I rush for the burrow or turn to sea? I gotta turn to sea. The creature is vaguely feline, enormously tall to your newly tiny form, and thickly muscled. Its purple stripes and rigid frills along its flanks. Killing incisors, each almost as large as you, fill its cavernous mouth, and its powerful claws can smash you flat. It sees you and lunges. Leap to the safety of the burrow. You bolt on your 4 feet, a burst of adrenaline powering your tiny muscles. What am I, like a rat or something? As the creature behind you, did we get a real indication of what the fuck I am? I'm a small creature. Chittering of other creatures. Can't see very well. But I smell colors. Am I a mole? What am I? And I have a tail, apparently. The creature behind you snaps and snarls at your fleeing tail. You leap into the burrow, and the monster claws and scratches at the opening behind you, its frilled head blocking the light. But it cannot get in after you. The creature stalks the perimeter and waits hours for you to emerge, but you never do. Eventually it snarls and pads away. You wake from the vision, your body shaking involuntarily from the experience. A brief moment later and you are reoriented in your own flesh. You find yourself once again standing before the massive cyst in the bloom. Kept your host safe, but you sense that wasn't what was needed here. This vision, and the others contained within the cyst's fibers, are a lock of sorts. To open it, you will need to suffer. You will need to become prey. Interesting. Alright, touch it again. You steel yourself for another memory of pain and reach out to touch the cyst again. Again, the unbidden memories spring into your mind, and you lose yourself among them until you reach out and seize one. After what seems like hours of flight, you think you may have found a way to elude the older girls. You've swallowed your pride and buried yourself in the mounded refuse of little Niliesh, the smell of rotting food and putrid meat filling your nose. Better this than to suffer the abuse they're likely to hand out. Oh, I know these feels. I remember being abused by little girls when I was a little boy. No, not really. It wasn't girls. Get beat up a shitload when I was a little kid, though. It wasn't good. Buried as you are, you can only hear them as they approach. Where did that little rhubarb go? Demands one. She's standing right in front of you, and she's breathing hard. From the rage in her voice, you know that the beating will be a savage one. At least 4 of them are looking for you, but you know deep down that if you don't stand up to them at some point, this will just keep happening. Here's what I found. No, I shouldn't get into this. You don't necessarily need to stand up to him. I mean, that would maybe work, yeah, possibly, or possibly not, who knows, but... Never mind. Let's not talk about what works. I'm gonna leap out of the garbage heap and attack. Try to burst from the refuse, imagining a dramatic entrance that will leave them stunned for a moment as you wreak your vengeance on their ringleader. That's really satisfying. However, that's not what's going to happen here, is it? What happens instead is that as you draw yourself in to leap at them, they see the movement in the pile and they're ready for you, even if you hadn't slipped on the moldering food. Your dramatic leap looks a little more like an accidental fall into your tormentor's arms. You're slicked with grease and rotten food, and they have a hard time holding you. For one moment, you have a chance to break free and run, or you can stand and fight and show them that you are not scared of them. Fight. You lash out, and your fist actually connects with the ringleader's face, rocking her head back. The blood that spills from her nose is dark and hot, but the rage in her eyes is cold and dead. She thrusts you back into the garbage, and as you struggle to regain your feet, one of her allies, a girl with snakes for fingers... Oh, that's right, because they're all mutants in Little Niliesh. Sees that hate and tries to pull her friend back.
Smearcall, not for this one.
Miracall says, "Oh, yes, yes for this one." She looks at her friend and says,
"And if you don't help, you're next."
The four of them get to work. An eternity later, they stop. They spit on you as they leave. You try to move, but a sharp and grinding pain in your leg shrills agony into your mind. Your eyes have swollen shut, your teeth are broken, and your shattered fingers are incapable of even the barest movement. Darkness closes over you. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. You return to your own mind with the death of your host, knowing that what you saw, what you felt, was true. The life you lived was full, rich, and ended here in the bloom. Your host's remaining moments were saturated with pain. Your muscles still twitch with the memory of agony, and your suffering bleeds into the cyst, loosening its fleshy fibers. It appears that the bloom has sealed something within this cyst, and your agony is the key that will set it loose. Let's touch it again. Okay, this says the same thing. You gaze through the faint shimmer and ripple of the force field down the silent, red-veined tunnel into the pulsating black. It looks empty. You know it is now. You feel the eyes on you. The hungry eyes. Hungry eyes. Like that song. But you feel no fear. You feel emptiness within you, under a scab that you want to pick. Let's examine the emptiness inside us. You remember her laughing face. You remember her closing her eyes, the tentacles of her hair writhing around the back of your head, pulling you in for a kiss. You remember her delighted laughter when you told her you'd found a lost settlement at the end of a quiet tunnel in the bloom, untouched by scavengers, a fortune lying on shelves and in neat crates. You remember leading her by the hand. The pain rises. Your hand strokes the force field's controls. What happened? Keep digging through the memory. You don't want to remember. You don't. But you go deeper anyway. You'd installed the shield to protect your find from the other explorers. But when you fled the ruins and the shrieking things beneath, it was the shield that saved you. You, and not her. You saw them fall on her 10 steps from safety. Pale claws, blood-painted, screamed from beneath the seething pile. So much blood, and she never stopped screaming. Finally, you raised the shield, and only then did silence fall. You look at your hand, hovering over the shield controls. For all you know, she could still be screaming down there in the ruins, and it's your fault. The life you were going to build together is gone, erased. You just have one more thing to do. Let's join her and open the force field. Your hand slides across the control and you deactivate the screens. Silence follows. She is not still screaming. You feel a moment's relief. The countless nightmares lied to you after all. You take a single step into the dark. Another. And then they swarm up the tunnel and fall on you, biting and clawing and chewing and shrieking. After endless, endless agony, blackness claims you. But that sounds fucking horrible. Consciousness calls you back to its arms, and you find yourself aching emotionally and physically from these experiences. Your muscles throb and pulse with the residue of the fight-or-flight response, and the cyst again responds to your pain. Its fibers loosen further. Touch the cyst again. Steel yourself, this says the same thing. Ah, we're back to the rat one, or the mole one. Turn to see what stalks you. Stand your ground to protect your family. You turn and rear, filling yourself with air to make yourself seem larger. The beast lunges at you, and one of its paws smashes down upon your spine, snapping it in an instant. That enormous mouth closes on you, and a mighty tooth pierces your side. The creature tears savagely at you, and then, apparently not liking the taste, spits you out. It snarls, baffled, and pads back into the dripping darkness of the bloom. Gasping, you drag your barely functioning body toward the burrow, but your limbs go numb and stop moving. The world blurs around you. Aching with unbearable loneliness, you welcome the sweet release of death. Sweet release of death sounds good. Get some of that. The ache in your heart has become familiar, even as the sorrow and heartbreak seem new and fresh each time. Different facets of the same emotion, each refracted through a new experience. The cyst's fibers twitch again, loosening one final time, revealing a frail, angular creature trapped inside. Bursts out of the cyst, leaving a glittering object behind in its haste to escape. So Gollum just jumped out of here. Where'd the creature go? Oh, there it is. It's an abacos, I think. And it just jumped off the... Now that the cyst has disgorged its prisoner, the husk looks hollow, deflated, defeated. Got a thingy. Something catches your eye. It's a piece of sharp metal that protrudes from just underneath a fold of decaying bloom flesh. You cannot begin to guess at its function, but it's small and easy to carry. You slip it into your pouch.
I'll remember that.
Natural lore. I knew it was an abacos because I've seen them before. The creature within the cyst was an abacos, a being that feeds on transdimensional energies. Assuming that it was in the cyst for any length of time, it must have been surviving by draining energy from the object you just found. A closer examination of the object should tell you more. Now that you've claimed the object the creature left, the cavity is utterly empty. I love all these random little interesting things that you can interact with that are lengthy, and they're really just random things on the map, you know? Oh, it's a quest item. Mesmeric handle. Found this object inside a ruptured bloom cyst. It looks like the handle of a sword or something. It's made of azure steel and resembles the hilt of a small knife. Okay, a knife, but the blade is missing. Here's ring. Crown sphere. Aglio's essence. device resembles the hilt of a weapon. It rests easily in your hand, but there is no blade.
Making a note.
Ioxu! Oh, the blade is made of azure steel. It appears to be inert and has no obvious function. A stylized name is inscribed into the steel. Ioxu. Behind a strong glass plate, you find a compartment that contains an old, depleted power core. It's blackened and drained, so you toss it aside. You could place another power source inside the compartment, but it may require a particular type of energy.
I'll remember that.
Mystical lore. Based on your understanding of the technology, it seems as though the device would require a trans-dimensional power source, something that harnesses the energy of singularities or parallel universes. Checked it again. Put it away. Alright, well we need to go talk to Ioxu about this right the fuck now. Ioxu, we're coming to talk to you about this magic knife. Rajellan's manner is noticeably deferential.
Return. What is your pleasure?
How do you turn off the field generator in the middle of the room?
The other side, close to me. A switch covered in supple material when thrown deactivates the device. But, I beg, do not do this. Its strength is what keeps the bloom from devouring me. All that I have accomplished in life will be for naught, my work unfinished, all this knowledge lost.
I have need of your wares. He swallows and bobs his head submissively.
What I have is this.
Do you have anything right now that I want to fuck with? I want Embrace the All pretty badly. Ecstasy Paralyzer, I want that too. Hey Moomba, how you doing? Thanks for the host. What's going on, Moomba? This is a nice artifact. Alright. No, we're not buying any of that right now. We're gonna ask him about this thing, though. I have other questions for you.
No, should you desire implements or skill of mine, I am willing. But I do not wish to bandy words with you.
But I helped you. I got rid of the... Okay, hold on. Yeah, Brad was in here for briefly a little while ago. He told me he finished Soma. And the Battlegrounds beta is done, which is great. He'll be playing it again once on Steam. When is that going to be? Nothing I can do with this construct.
Yes.
I'm not going to shut the device down. Maybe I have to find a trans-dimensional power source somewhere else. Okay. Trans-dimensional power source.
I'm going.
Just want to quickly see if I can have any new... Oh yeah, I know I have new conversation options with just laugh at Tex and his skills with car flipping. I know, he seems to flip every vehicle he gets in, basically. I told him, Brad, there's not an achievement for flipping the most vehicles. I want to quickly ask, Walks Without Fear. Maybe. No. Never mind. Walks Without Fear is not trying to go into the thing. Chrysler, the Marches, they're not going.
Let's go.
But I feel like, what if I could give this essence of Artaglio to Waits for Prey? Then he could get what he wants, which is to be devoured by the thing. Flip 10 cars in one match. Flipping madness achieved. Oh yeah, you said that before, didn't you?
Let's go.
A lot of car flipping. I don't want to talk to Cody again yet. All right, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk to Waits for Prey again. In our next episode. That, however, is gonna do it for this one. So, thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Torment, Tides of Numenera.